So Dr. Chandrasekhar is not here. Yes, yes, sir is there. What about the Sina, madam? Mr. Praveen, sir, please admit the Dr. Sinha, madam. Mr. Praveen, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Tell me.
So please allow the Dr. Rani Sinha, madam.
She is not there. Now we have allowed everyone. I can't see.
She has joined, sir. She has joined.
She has joined. Okay, then we can start today's proceedings.
In the name of.
Madam has joined.
Can you see her name? I cannot.
Madam Rani Indrasina, have you joined?
We are not able to see her. We are searching by name.
लिख रहा है क्या?
Can't see.
Madam is yet to join, sir.
If ma'am is joined, can you just put up chat box so that we can recognize her?
Rani Indrasina, have you joined? Please respond.
She has put the message that they are showing. Please wait. Host will let you in. I have asked the madam to rejoin, sir.
She has joined through iPhone.
Okay, okay. Then we can
There
go
are
ahead.
4 iPhones are there, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, madam. So good afternoon to everybody. All respected executives of the NPT and dear participants. In the last 2 weeks, we have completed 4 sessions of GCP on overview of GCP, responsibilities of stakeholders in clinical trial protocol, and informed consent process. At the same time, NPT has circulated the PPT as well as video recording of the last 2 events. As usual, if anybody wants to ask any question, they can post the question in chat box and we will take it during the discussion or will be answered by the speaker in the chat box also. Now I request Dr. Kamal sir to speak few words on this occasion. Over to Kamal sir.
My screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good afternoon all. Welcome to National Association of Pharmacology and Therapeutics. On behalf of our Honorable President, Dr. Padamja Udayakumar, I'm playing the Napticon video. We are inviting all the pharmacologists of the country at the Napticon Lucknow, which is going to be organized in the month of December. So I'm playing the video of promotional video of Napticon.
Namaskar, dear MD Pharmacology colleagues. It is my great honor and pleasure to invite you to participate in the Napticon 23, the second National Conference of National Association of Pharmacology and Therapeutics, going to be organized by the Department of Pharmacology and Therapeutics, King George's Medical University. The conference will be organized with the theme, the role of pharmacology and therapeutics in the holistic healthcare, which is the need of the hour for the country. The conference will bring together all MD pharmacology colleagues, such as faculty members, postgraduate pharmacology students, domain experts, research scientists, industry representatives, and other colleagues working beyond the academics, such as pharmaceutical industry, regulatory body, and pharmacovigilance, clinical research industry, and the clinical practice. I am confident the conference will give the opportunity to participate and witness in highly professional scientific sessions and discussions and to enjoy world-famous delicacies of land of Nawab and Kebabs, along with so many places of tourist attraction in and around the city of Lucknow. Uttar Pradesh attracts from all over the world the birthplace of Lord Rama in Ayodhya and Lord Krishna in Vrindavan and Lord Shiva in Kashi Varanasi. The conference will incorporate keynote talks, invited speakers, workshops, scientific sessions, poster and paper presentations, and a special session for young pharmacologist session encouraging young researchers. Though through this message, I will be waiting all of you to be a part of this brilliant event and looking forward to welcome you all in the land of Awadh and the city of Nawabs. Long live NPT, Jai Hind.
So the Napticon 23 is being organized by King George Medical University, Department of Pharmacology, King George Medical University, Lucknow. Dr. A.K. Sachan will be the organizing chairperson and Dr. Sarvesh Singh will be the organizing secretary. Thank you, Dr. sir, for allowing me to play this video. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamal sir, for your nice video of the Napticon 2023. And we again request all the participants to be part of this Napticon 2023 at Lucknow. Moving forward, we are having two new topics today. First is on Ethics Committee and individual responsibility of members, which will be taken by Dr. Chandrasekhar K. sir. And the second session is on National Ethical Guidelines for Biomedical and Health Research by Saibal Das sir. The first session will be moderated by Gagandeep Quatra madam. Madam is Professor and Head, Department of Pharmacology, Christian Medical College, Ludhiana. Madam is also Deputy Director, Legal Section in the Institute. Also, Madam is Member Secretary, IEC CMC, Ludhiana. And Madam is also a female fellow and faculty of Department of Medical Education. Madam is also research faculty for faculty development program and having several publications in national and international journal. I welcome you, Madam, for the session. The second session will be moderated by Indira Rani Sinha, Madam, who is presently working as Professor and Head, Pharmacology, Patna Medical College, Patna. She is member of Ethics Committee of EGIMS, Patna, and Indira Gandhi Institute of Cardiology, Patna. Madam is also subject expert in preparing EDL of the state of Bihar. Madam is also a member governing body of the Mahavir Sansthan, a charitable institution, and chairperson of Pharmacovigilance Unit of Patna Medical College. Madam is having several publications in reputed journal. I also welcome you, Madam, for the session. Now I request Dr. Patra, Madam, to introduce today's first speaker, Dr. Chandrasekhar K. Sir. First session will be of 20 minutes, followed by question and answer session for 10 minutes. Over to Patra, Madam.
Thank you, Dakle sir. So it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Chandrasekhar, who is presently working as Professor and Head Department of Pharmacology at Karwar Institute of Medical Sciences in Karnataka. He's a member of the Medical Education Unit at his institution, and he also serves as the main nominee and external scientist of CCCSEA. Dr. Chandrasekhar is also an NMC assessor, and he has over 20 publications in national and international journals. So Dr. Chandrasekhar is going to apprise us today about how an ethics committee is to be formed as per the guidelines and what are the roles and responsibilities of the individual members. So I request Dr. Chandrasekhar to please start his presentation.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Slide, sir.
Slide is also visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Padma Madam. Thank you, Ganesh sir, and thank you, Kamal sir, for giving opportunity to talk about this ethical committee and their composition responsibility of individual members. See, what about ethics committee? Ethics committee is a committee comprising of medical, scientific, non-medical, non-scientific members whose responsibility is to ensure the protection of rights, safety, and well-being of human subjects involved in clinical trial. And again, it should be responsible for reviewing and approving the protocol, the suitability of investigative facilities, their method and adequacy of information to be used for obtaining and documenting informed consent of the study subject, and adequacy of confidential safeguard. Again, next comes in what the ethics committee means for the purpose of this clinical trial. Main thing that not only the clinical, even for the academic clinical trial, ethics committee, as per this constituted by the rule of 7 and 8. And again, this Biomedical Health Ethics Committee constituted under this Rule 16 and registered under 17. So what is this constitution of this committee for the clinical trial? Minimum 7 members for this medical, non-medical, the scientific, non-scientific area with at least 1 layperson, 1 women members, and 1 legal expert, 1 independent member from any other related such as social scientists or representative of non-government voluntary agents or the philosopher or ethicist of the Theophylact. 1 member of this ethical committee who is affiliated to the institution or organization shall be the chairperson appointed by the institution or the organization. one member who is affiliated to the institution or the organization should be appointed as a member secretary of the ethical committee by the institute or the organization. And again, they should be following this GCP guideline and the safeguard the right, safety, and well-being of trial subjects. And again, these members represent the medical scientists, and the clinician should at least have the PG qualification in the respective areas of specialization. And no member of this ethical committee or conflict of interest should be involved in oversight of this clinical trial or the BAB study protocol being reviewed by it. All the members should sign the declaration to the effect there is no conflict of interest there. And again, to overall here, this is the Institute Ethical Committee. This is having the person
You are not audible, sir.
Sir. Think this one is a server problem,
Okay.
sir. Just a minute, sir.
Okay, sir.
And this is the again, what are the responsibility of the ethical committee here? The reviews and accord to the approval of trial protocol to safeguard the right, safety, and well-being of all trial subjects and the principal investigator. The main thing involving here is the prisoners, who are the study participant there. The prisoners are the armed forces, the personal staff, are the students of the medical nursing, the pharmacy academic institution, incurable disease, or unemployed, or improved prisoners, which is the emergency situation. And again, they should be following this standard operative procedure and appropriate interval study progress and the report of this principal investigator. And again, they'll be having this internal audit report by the sponsor. And again, this in serious adverse report or ethical analysis, and again, the financial composition. And again, this financial composition by the sponsor of the institution. While considering the application which yields the conflict of interest of any member of ethical committee should voluntarily withdraw from the ethics committee review committee here. Means just want to highlight here, based on the conflict of interest, if the ethical committee member have the conflict of interest, it should not be present in the ethical meeting there. Just an example here, if any member from the example here, if the principals involved in the study center then may withdraw from the study and details in respect of such conflict of interest should be recorded in the minutes of meeting, whereas not attend the meeting and that should be mentioned in the minutes of the meeting there. And again, according to this rule 8 in the rule 7, especially for this BAB studies, they'll be having this rule 8 in the rule 7. And again, they'll be having this table 1 form and the clinical trial form. Based on that only, they should apply for this registration and all. This is the main thing here. Information, how you apply for the ethical committee registration and all. This is the application form. Based on this clinical trial 1 that, this is the standard operative procedures and all. And again, what is the timeline here? Suppose if you wanted this ethical committee approval, the first they will get the permission from the CLCA, that is Central Licensing Authority. After scrutinizing the application there, the timeline, they'll be having this at least 45 working days there. There will be the timeline to get this ethical committee approval there. And again, if they not get approved there, then they can base an appeal and all. This is just for the registration there. And again, validity of this ethical committee, it's for minimum 5 years. And again, come to this proceeding of ethical committee. One, if we get the ethical committee registration approved there, then what are the proceeding of this ethical committee here? Ethical committee have at least 5 members of member to trust the namely that medical scientists, preferably should be pharmacologist, clinician, the legal expert. The social scientists are the representatives of any NGO or the philosopher should be there, especially for this quorum required to get the quorum there. Again, how to maintain this ethical committee maintenance of records here? The first thing is data for the period of data for a period of 5 years after completion of such trial. And again, ethical committee record for the 5 years, same like what the composition you have applied that. We got the permission, and we should keep that documents minimum for the 5 years. And again, in that specifically, we having this CV of all the members of ethical committee. And again, the standard operating procedures will be there. And again, we'll be following this national international guidelines like ICH guidelines, the CDC guidelines, the WHO guidelines, followed by the ethical committee there. And again, the copies of this protocol data, collection formats, case reports, and investigation brochure submitted for the review and all. And again, all this should be get the signature from this chairperson. And again, copy of the decision communicated to the applicants, record relating any order like premature termination of the studies. And again, final report of the study, including the microfilms, and the soft copy should be given there. And recommendation of ethical committee will determine the compensation. The same thing, first thing, suppose if any principal investigator, if you want to get the trial approval, first, you look at the trial protocol, include protocol formats, which have their own version in the number, the patient information sheet, informed consent sign, and investigation procedure, whether they're a sponsor and the investigator CV we need, and like an insurance policy or the compensation for the participation in the serious drug events occurring to the study participation. So all this information should be submitted along with the protocol. Like investigate agreement with the main thing, principal investigator agreement with the sponsor, and again investigators undertaking that. And again, ethical committee to be informed after the progress of study, any serious adverse events occurring in course of the study, or any change in the protocol and the patient information or informed consent approved by this copy the final report there. Means the message I want to highlight here, anything ADR is there, specifically should inform the ethical committee and the institution. And again, the same thing should go for this CL, that is centralizing authority. Then what is the function of ethical committee here? The review of what the protocol we are given according to the study protocol, monitoring and internal audit reports furnished by the sponsors by the institutional study side. They can indicate the reason that waiting you rejecting or asking for the change notification of protocol in writing, and copy of such reason should be made available to the centralizing authority. That message I want to highlight regarding this ethical committee role here. The main thing is if they want to modify their protocol, one thing, or you want to change the protocol, the first thing should give the writing that the specifically the principal investigator and the sponsor, that document should be sending for the CAL, that is Central Assisting Authority. And again, in case of any serious adverse events with that of the trial subject, study subjects during this trial, ethical committee should analyze the revealed documents pertaining to such events and forward to the report of centralizing authority as per this chapter 7 or chapter 6 there. In committee may be discussed the discontinuation of suspension of the clinical trial. The same should be introduced into the institution, clinical trial as centralizing authority. And again, this centralizing authority, they have the permission, notice to inspect the premises by record of any document related to the clinical trial. Even they can have a surprise inspection specifically the site if there is any ADR or the serious ADR is there. So they have this authority that CALs have the authority to visit the site if there is any ADR there and comply with the requirements or any condition to the requirements specified under the Act. And this should be safeguarded with CA with the approval of central government to safeguard the rights of the clinical trial subjects and or the BAB there. Again, this is the overall here. The roles of the Institutional Ethical Committee here to assess in education and development research community response to the local healthcare requirements there, to protect the dignity, rights, and well-being of the regional subject, to ensure that ethical values and international standard guidelines in terms of local community values and the customs there. Yeah, that's finished the.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrasekhar. The house is now open for questions. There is one question which one of the participants has asked is, what is the training required to become a member of the ethics committee? Are there any exams to be cleared?
Yeah, it's a good question. Nice question they asked. The main thing is just to get the update, like if there is change or anything in that, see the just an example I will tell. initially Schedule Y was different, but right now Schedule Y is different. Just an example I'm giving. Anything is there, we should get the updated here. Updated means, suppose the rules like in 2019, new drug clinical trial is different, and previous clinical, if you take the 2014, the guidelines is different. For that purpose, we advise who are the ethical committee members every 6 months or once in a year to go for the any CME or the conference where this ethical committee program is there in that, so that they themselves they get updated there.
So,
So
Dr.
I will add to
Chandrasekhar,
that, madam. If somebody wants to go ahead with the members of the ethics committee, then as mentioned by Chandrasekhar sir, regular training of good clinical practice is required. But at the same time, the person should have knowledge about the ethics. He should have time, knowledge, no conflict of interest. At the same time, he should have good education in ethics also. So these are the 5 or 6 necessary criteria to become the members of any ethics committee. Go ahead, madam.
thank you. Are there any more questions for Dr. Chandrasekhar?
So if there are no questions, we can go ahead with the second session, madam.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank Padmaja madam, I thank Ganeshan sir, I thank Kamal sir for giving an opportunity to talk about this ethical committee. And again, the take-home message for the candidate, the participants who join this workshop here, the main thing is this: you can get the theory, you can get the exams. I think short notes you can get this ethical committee, either in the clinical trials or in the preclinical trials. You can get the short notes here, the one thing. Second thing is, for the who has the want to open the ethical committee, definitely academic clinical trial, easily they'll apply now this one. We'll get the permission for that. That's the take-home message I want to highlight here.
Thank you, sir. Next, we will go ahead with the next speaker. Now I request Dr. Indira Sinha madam to introduce today's second speaker, Dr. Saibal Das sir. Again, this second session will be of 20 minutes, followed by question answer session for 10 minutes. Over to Rani Sinha madam, Indira Sinha madam.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam, you can go ahead.
Yes. A very good afternoon to the distinguished organizers, to the speakers, to the moderators, and all the participants. Thanks to the NPT for giving me this opportunity. The second session of today is National Ethical Guidelines for Biomedical and Health Research involving human participants,